All right, we're here. Here we go. Just have a toolkit here to pack up for Josh. Let's get a toolkit going. I was on Buckin earlier, watching him for a few minutes. And we're packing up a toolkit. Here we go. Hey, Larry. Welcome. Just need to get a toolkit shipped out here. I got 2 left, but actually I gotta go put that on Arbor's site, let people know. I only got a couple left. Right now, the limiting thing in the kits is that one rod. It's the flywheel side rod that I only have, well, 3 now 2 of. Buckin is crazy busy, yeah. These are actually like really nicely machined. These are actually CNC thread milled. It's very nice. Just want to take off the burrs there. Here's the flywheel rod. So I'm only down to a couple of these. That's all I got. A couple left. So Josh out in Pennsylvania, this is for you. Doing a pretty good job here of deburring things, but if you do find some burrs, or just check them, check it over. The T540 is the handle the same as the old one. What old one? Hey, Ken. That ain't gonna work. That's better. First edition T540 is the handle. I didn't know that there was any different handles on that saw, Joel. I'm not super familiar with the 540. Hey, Dan. I think that 394 runs pretty darn good. What do you think? Couple of saws. Do you reckon you could sort me out with some good deals, Joel? I can give you a good idea on what's a good deal and what isn't, but I'm not really taking on new work right now. If you find a saw and are like, hey, it's $50 or $100 or whatever is a good deal, I might be able to guide you in that respect. Let me get one more sleeve. Hang on. Joel, does that answer your question? Does it help? Are we still on? Yeah, we're good. Okay. Overall, my advice on getting chainsaws, if you're getting chainsaws used, is, get it cheap. You always got to ask the question, when was its last rebuild? If it's an older saw, or it's been dragged behind a truck, and the answer is, I don't know, or never, the price goes down significantly. Don't be like me. Don't be like me. Don't pay too much for saws. It also kind of depends on what you define as a good deal. What do you define as a good deal? Depends on what saw you're looking for. I think it's going to be a slow night. Just do. If you're looking for stuff to build, there's a couple of 394s that are on eBay right now. A couple of carcasses, and those might be a good thing to pick up if you can get them cheap. The thing is they're carcasses, so they. It's going to cost a pretty penny to get them running, Going in here for Josh out in Pennsylvania. You wanted a kit? You get a kit. Here we go. Actually, what I might try to do, and I haven't tried this yet, but I might try to not go to the post office. I mean, if I can print out the postage on postalservice.com or stamps.com or whatever, I might do that. Larry, probably money pits. They look like part saws, for sure. What Josh is at in PA? Not allowed to say. I'll tell you, he's Josh A. in Monroeville. How's that? That's your dealer. Thanks, Dan. You rock. I don't have to tell you that. You know that. That's cool. I just got him a main kit here. Nothing super fancy. He didn't respond with any of the other stuff that he, 880s or whatever. I mean, if you need something, you let me know, okay, Dan? If he needs anything beyond the main kit, obviously let me know. He didn't tell me PA Dan sent, whatever. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He's getting good service. If I can, ship it out tomorrow, I will. I just don't know. So yeah, Larry, careful on those eBay saws. I think the guy wants like $50 a shot for shipping. So right now the bids are pretty low, but watch out. You could get into trouble in a hurry. Time to put some of this stuff away. You don't. I know, Larry, that you don't need any more. You just want more. Found this new old stock cover. Looks pretty good, huh? Actually, Larry, if you want a really sick deal, on eBay they have you have to look for it, but it's a 394 carburetor. It's actually a new old stock WJ39. They want $95 free shipping, but I've never seen a new old stock WJ39. Never seen it. So new in box, new old stock WJ39. That's the carburetor to have on a 394. $95 is at least a little steep. It's a lot of money. It's probably worth it, but still a lot of money. So, if I sell a pile of tools, maybe I'll go buy it. just to stick it in here, Someone must have went to an auction and bought. Yeah, that type of stuff comes from old dealerships, but none of the dealerships that I know of. I never get quite that lucky. Hey Maddie, come on back here. I got a bunch of old stuff. That would be cool. I don't get that lucky. Hey Craig, what's new? Craig, did you see my video earlier on the 394 that's for sale? Or one of them? I think runs pretty good. Of course, I had to flood the darn thing out when I was trying to restart it, but whatever. Yeah, Craig, go back and look at the other live video that I had from today. I just kept pulling chainsaws out of the shed. I forget who said. Somebody said they wanted me to keep pulling saws out, so I did. Okay. Greg, was it cold? You got your old 2171 back today? The is that Arbor's site or OPE? Might be on OPE. Somebody's got a 372 for sale. Uh, for like 550. Looks like all OEM imported. Would be a good deal for somebody. Yeah, it probably was about here, 35, 36, yeah. About the same temperature. Mostly sunny day. I was happy to get out and do a little bit of cutting just for the hell of it, really. Sold it to my cousin. Or let his buddy use it. Straight gassed it. My cousin gave it to me. Oh! Straight gas. Well, you know, right? What's wrong with the darn thing? Snowing now. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get weather here. We might get weather. Look nice and clean, though. Tuesday snow, Ken? Okay. I'm working tomorrow, 8 to 5. Back to the grind at a nice 3-day weekend, so I've been doing a little bit of chilling out. I gotta go spend time with the kids tonight. Inch and a half since 5. So Dan, I guess that's coming our way. Three to 4 for me. Awesome. Alright, well. Whatever. Doesn't matter to me. Gotta go to work. What else was I gonna do tonight? Put that kit together for Josh. Again, thanks, Dan. Appreciate that. Hope Josh likes it. Really do. What else was I gonna do down here? I don't think I had anything else to do. There's not much else cooking right now. I've ordered some parts. I've ordered some this and that. I'm waiting on an order from Jack Small Engines, but those orders always take a while. TD. Hey, Kev. I've been thinking about life after Saws. Well, something like that. What I mean is, not much. I just packed up actually, I got a referral. We got a referral from PA Dan. So thanks, Dan. His dealer. Well, Dan, did you actually got a chance to demo those tools with the dealer? They were actually willing to put together a crankcase, which is cool. I mean, that's awesome. So yeah, I guess Dan gave me a referral or gave his dealer a referral to me to get some tools. So I just packed up some tools for him, which is awesome. But back to Kev's question about life after Saws. Life after Saws. I mean, I think Saws is pretty much an ongoing thing for the rest of my life, but not necessarily taking on new work. So there is that. What am I going to do? Believe me, I got plenty to do. I gotta play with the kids. I got all kinds of randomness to do, and right now I'm still in this transition period where I'm kind of mentally getting used to the new job, and like this week was much more straightforward than it has been yet. Every week is getting better. It's becoming much more like routine to go into the office and this that whatever. So that's good. It's certainly better to make it feel like I like work when it's like turning a wrench. If I can just turn a wrench, I'm good. If the bolt's rusty, I'm upset. You know, so if I can turn wrenches, bam, I'm good. And I use that expression for basically all of life. Now that's kind of the holy grail for small business in general. Steady work, just straight work, and no baloney and nothing extraneous type of thing. But it's kind of like the holy grail really for small business, and you know it's rare that we actually find that holy grail. So better to get fillings removed or pull the tooths. Um, Depends on okay. Better to get fillings removed or pull the tooth. Well, you have to remove the filling before you to get a diagnosis of whether or not to get rid of the tooth or fix it. And just so everybody knows, there are two dental diseases: cavities and gum disease. So there's and I tend to think there's effectively a third, and it has to do with structural issues. So if a tooth is cracked, what's the extent of the crack? So, structural issues, i.e., trauma. You think about it as trauma. You bit down on something too hard. The filling broke the tooth. That type of thing. So, you can really break things down like that and say, okay, is it worth fixing the tooth, or is it easier just to take it out and consider something else as a replacement? I hope Josh gets on too. Thanks, Dan. That's cool. No pain. We just want the mercury gone. TD, I'll just let you know that if somebody comes in to see me and they want their mercury fillings replaced, I will give them a hard look. That's no problem. But if the filling and the tooth are fine, I leave them. And it is my understanding that doing anything other than that is, according to the ADA, a no-no. So I don't go in and tear all of them out and just replace them. I don't do that. I'm pretty sure you can get into trouble for that sort of thing. If something's wrong with it, if something is wrong with the tooth, if there's a crack, whatever, sure, no problem. And 90% of the silver fillings I take out end up as crowns. So this is not a dental channel. This is not intended as dental advice. I'm not, you know, not trying to be the dentist on YouTube. I think that'd be kind of cool, but I'm not. The idea of this YouTube channel was to do everything but dentistry, and it wasn't necessary. Don't worry, James. Didn't miss much. Um, the idea was to do everything but dentistry, and of course, it's become a whole lot about chainsaws. But there's a lot of other stuff I'd like to do and put up on the channel. So yeah. Do I ever take a saw to work? I have for other people, not to show patience. Not to show patience. I've certainly worked on cylinder heads at work because dental drills are particularly useful there. Now I have stuff here at the house, but our dentist is a gadget girl. 3D scanning, designs my crowns while you watch. Yeah, there are dentists that are gadgety like that. The 3D scanning is really cool stuff. There are some significant issues with it, which it's a big debate right now among dentists. But There are those type of dentists that are really like into the dentistry and into the gadgets and all the newest and latest stuff. Um, there are debates. Hey Matt, what 3D scanning print shop did you go with for the intakes? Eric Briggs is a subscriber here, and he actually is bringing it to work and seeing if a buddy of his at work can do it. And they have a whole bunch of 3D printers that are not doing anything. So what I'm going to do is see how much it costs, and it's not going to be cheap. I don't think it's going to be cheap to have this guy design this thing, but if we can start designing it and printing them, then they're going to be, I think that's going to be pretty cool. So then I'm going to basically I'll work with those guys to take the design, hopefully improve it, and then move on to another design, and then another design, and then another design. So there is really no such thing as life after saws, but um, I think if we can start 3D printing some parts that are basically unobtainium, then why not, right? Tim's here. I don't think we're going to need nylon. Nylon is hard to 3D print and probably quite pricey. So they have some more heat resistant plastics that I think will probably be okay. I have to talk to them about materials for sure. It's a reasonable discussion. How's the weather down there, Tim? Mid 30s here today. It was sunny and nice. I think Tim. I think you missed the live stream of me working the saws there. Maybe ABS can. I don't know. Again, I'm gonna talk to them. Maybe we have an auto part needs scanning and printed. Um, I don't think these guys are gonna scan it. I think these guys are just gonna 3D design it. But I don't know. There's a 40 in rain. Okay. There's a scan place that I found out on YouTube. I think they're out in Michigan or Indiana or something like that. And it's like for that part for that intake, their estimation was like $700 to 3D scan it. But once it's laser scanned, it's in. So yeah, this is not cheap. This stuff is not cheap to produce. So you guys can imagine, if we do get this, I'm going to order them in bulk, and then they're not going to be cheap. It's just the way it is. But at least we'll have them for those people that need them. They'll be available. Right. So yeah, that's certainly the idea. Is if it's just going to be me, it'll probably just be me that'll be marketing these things. I gotta be the one fronting the cash and testing them, marketing them, and shipping them. So that's gonna be me. Trademarks. Well, they're out of production, so I can't imagine that there would be any infringement like that. Dude West, what's going on? Mega Dirty. Good eye. Yeah, so I hope that we can get that going because there's a lot of parts that, at least in my own mind, I'd love to take, get 3D printed, improve upon all that other stuff. Why do you look so mean tonight? I don't know. Thanks, TD. Um, could look mean, or at least I could try. Just had dinner, had some soup. My wife made soup. It was pretty good. Some soup, some potato chips. Could use a beer. Should I get a beer? Maybe I get a beer. Should go see what's in the fridge. I was supposed to bring the beer down and put it in the fridge, but I didn't do that. Oh well. What are you building this stream? Not building. Well, I just packaged up some tools for a referral. Actually, PA Dan referred a dealer actually named Josh, and I packed up some tools for him. So, see, and Winter Lager. I saw the 390 for that. Yeah, it's mean, Tim. That thing is mean. White brought me up White Castles tonight. There you go. Is it bad that I've never been to White Castles? I I'm pretty sure I have never been to White Castle. I, they don't have them here. They just don't have them up here, and it wasn't really prevalent even where I was in Texas, so I never really went. Yeah, I've never seen one here in Connecticut, and even if there was one, it would just not be something that was I'm missing much. You don't know what you're missing. Yeah, see, I don't know. There are some people that really used to be inexpensive. Greasy sliders. Yeah. I don't know. Like I just White Castle. Okay, whatever. All right. So yeah. So tonight we just packaged up a kit for Josh. I've got two more kits. So I got two more uh, kits right now, and the reason I only have two is because I only have two with a flywheel side rod. That's all that I got left. The rest I've got great stock on. So I got to get those two sold off, and then pretty soon, next week or two, I should be hearing from my machinist, and more of those flywheel rods will be coming. Quit almost as fast. All fast food. Got to keep our girlish figure. Just cut up with the 394. Sounded good. Luckily, I had plenty of power. Noodle looked good too. On my 64, the noodle stick and jam everything. Yeah, the noodles are pretty good. The saw like it's all the way on the ground, so clearing them was a little tricky. But other than that, that was perfect. It's a perfect noodling saw. Really beautiful. It starts so nice. It's just so smooth. Still has it's got like 200 pounds of compression. Still starts nice and smooth. Run it like you stole it, David. Yeah, I've just got I've got too many 394s. That's the issue. So I need to get it figured how to get a couple of them sold, and then I'll be off and running with the rest of my collection. I'm fine with what I have. I don't need any more. 200 is good. Got 195 on my MS 260. No base gasket, 20,000 squish. On the little saws, having so much compression is, I think, a little bit different than the big saws, but you know, I have. I think that 350 that I was running today is probably close to 200 pounds. Um, it really makes them quite stout. Really, they're serious saws. TD, do you get the cases welded or did you sell them off? I think one of those out there has welded cases. And it might be both. I don't remember. Maybe they're both welded. They have parts on there that are actually welded up. I forget. Yeah, when it breaks in, it'll be north of 200 without too much trouble, I think. If I, yeah, if I remember right, what the heck did I do? I think that they were welded cases. Just a couple of spots on there needed to be welded up, so I had Sean Carr weld them, and he did a fine job. So, but what I then had to do was I need to take the cases and stick them on the Bridgeport in order to optimize squish. So there's a lot of time into those saws. Oh, the saw with the broken case. That crankcase got sold to Larry, and I have brand new crankcase here on this one. So this is the same saw, but I'm putting it together fresh. This is now a fresh build with brand new cases. Um, and again, this one I'm also keeping, but I'm missing a couple of parts, so we're waiting on a few things, including the intakes, which I have to have 3D printed. So, you know. Yeah, they like it. Yeah, Mega Dirty, you're right. You're right. They really like the compression. What altitude are you at? Probably a few hundred feet. We're not that high here in Connecticut. Did you do the exhaust work on your saw with the new cases? No. Um, no, that was a. I don't think so. Did I do that? Or did the guy that? I think the guy that ported that did that. So that is actually not my port work. The 394s that you saw today earlier are actually all my port work. That's not my port work. So far, after running the 394s, I'm not even sure that they need a whole lot of openness to the muffler beyond what they already have. Um, I'm sure he could fiddle with it, but I just don't even care. They have really nice power with a fairly stock muffler. So right, yeah, 160 feet. So yeah, that's about what I. That's a little less than I thought, but okay. Um, Why is it smaller high compression saw harder to pull? The flywheels are smaller, David. That's the nice thing about the 394, 395s. The flywheels are a little bit bigger, and it just I think that helps it makes them just so much more smooth. TD, you think the 395 mufflers are choked? Maybe a little, but it doesn't take much to get them open enough. I don't know. I'm not a muffler expert. Who knows? Some guys put really big pipes on those things. That thing out there, I'm pretty sure it has a spark screen in that muffler. It noodles just fine. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna go find a beer. If I can find a cold one. If not, who knows? Oh, we got more comments. Mega Dirty. I got 372 parts saying a hose short block and fit all the plastics and rating the cases are less than the best. The 372 Chinese cases are fine. Um, yeah, ideally, an OEM head is really the ticket. Oh, preferably an OEM crank. OEM head would be really good. The rest of it, you can kind of whatever, you know. David has the bigger saws have longer stroke compared to shorter stroke. Good point, Craig. So yeah, I get the question asked a lot with the Chinese parts, and it really can be hit or miss for some people. Like carburetors are really hit or miss. Some run fine, some don't run for beans. Um, I'm starting to believe that really OEM coils are the best ignition coils. Um, you can get away with some of the aftermarket heads, but at least upgrade the piston to a Meteor. Ideally, have usually the first mod that I recommend is an OEM wrist pin bearing. If you're gonna do nothing else, do the wrist pin bearing as an OEM part. Well, the cylinders, the piston to cylinder combos that are OEM are not that expensive. It's not $300. It's more like 150. And you might actually be able to do better than that if you look around. I really like the OEM starters. I think the aftermarket starters are just flimsy. So if you can put an OEM starter on it, the tank can be plus minus. You guys have seen me work on the tank vent, so mod the tank vent. That's what I would do. 576 combo purchase for 132. Yeah, nice. Where do I get the OEM parts? All over the place. I get them from all kinds of different parts places. I get them from HL Supply, um, and if you're getting parts from anywhere, well, from HL Supply in particular, please, please, please use my link because I do get credit for that. Um, and basically, all of my bolt for bolt videos, one of the first things in the description is my what's called affiliate link to HL Supply. So I do get credit if you go and buy parts at HL Supply. Um, they give me store credit so I can buy cool stuff so I can show you guys. Um, but other than that, if I'm getting OEM parts, lots of different places. E-replacement parts can be good. They're a little expensive, but they show you what they have in stock before you dump it into your shopping cart. Jack Small Engines and SLE equipment for OEM parts seem to be pretty inexpensive. SLE equipment is very inexpensive for certain things. and a little more expensive for others. So just depends. Other places for OEM parts, obviously the dealer, um, Parts Tree. Haven't ordered from Parts Tree in a while. eBay. If you need something to be in stock, then odds are eBay is going to be the ticket. You're probably going to pay a premium for it, but maybe not. That's the beauty of eBay. You might catch somebody sleeping. So there's all that for OEM parts. There's all kinds of different places. Yeah, if you want OEM parts, then there's certain places you can get that. If you're going to FarmerTech, or rather Huzzle.net, or whatever it is, Huztle, that's just that's only Chinese parts, because that's where it comes from. So you have to look out for that. Maybe you do want Chinese parts. I use plenty of Chinese parts where I think they're appropriate. Dealer here in New Zealand wanted 70. Yeah, you got that's the problem with that. Yeah, the some dealers want an astronomical amount of money for stuff. I gotta imagine that because everything's got to be imported to New Zealand, that you're gonna be paying a premium for pretty much anything you get. Imagine an 044 set of seals would be any less than just seals. I can't imagine it'd be less than $20 here. And my dealer's right down the street. I gotta imagine it's more than that, maybe. Shipping can be horrendous. Yeah, I know. A lot. It's a killer for a lot of people. All right. If there's any other questions, great. If not, I gotta run. I'm gonna go get a beer and chill out. Um, TD, you take care. Mega Dirty, Birdie. Good questions. Keep them coming. 47 US. Yeah, so it's a premium. Um, Ken, have a great night. Craig, Tim, PA Dan, again, thanks for the referral. Do appreciate that. Dave Shively, Kev Barry. You guys have a great night. Anybody else that I forgot? Sorry. James Faust, take care, heal up, and we will talk to you guys later, okay? Be safe, everybody.